Hello everyone, this is Becky Malloy. I wanted to take a minute to touch base with you regarding your seminar paper, and I thought that the easiest way would be to go through the syllabus, the explanation of the seminar paper, and then hopefully this will set you forward with your work for our summer course Read 729. Okay, so I'm going to get right into it just so that the video isn't too awfully long and boring. Okay, so you are going to be responsible for a seminar paper. This paper has to be on a topic that piques your curiosity as a professional. It can be something that you are interested in, just you, or something that interests your team at school. It can be something that you would like to explore further. So, for example, it could be maybe perhaps a reading intervention program that your school has been looking at that may be of interest to you, or some piece of technology that could have some kind of impact on comprehension. But really, basically, the bottom line is that for this seminar paper, that you choose something that is of interest to you, to your team, to your school, one of those or all of the above. Okay, so the seminar paper has a couple of different parts. The seminar paper has an introduction, a substantiation, which you won't call it that, and I'll get into that in a moment, a conclusion, and an abstract. Everything is APA format, 12-point format, 12-point font, Times New Roman, double-spaced. The paper is going to end up being about 20 pages. I don't think that if you ended up with a 22-page paper, it would be an earthly tragedy, but try to keep it around 20 pages. So I'm going to get right into the explanation of each of those pieces so that you know what is ahead of you. So the introduction is two main parts. The first part is typically written in the first person and is intended to grab the reader's attention by telling why your research is of particular interest to you. So you are going to talk about your topic, why it is important, maybe what impact it might have with something that you're looking at your school. So that's the first bullet point, or the first section of your introduction. The second part is that you're going to explain why your topic is of importance to the field of literacy. So you're going to talk about maybe theoretical and practical significance of the topic to the reading professional. So why is your topic going to be important to other people? Whereas in the first section, it's you're talking about why your research is of interest to you. The second part is why is your research of interest to others. It says here, use references here, but not primary resources. So the difference between primary and secondary resources was part of a PowerPoint that I've already posted on our Blackboard site. Essentially, the primary resource, a primary research article is rather lengthy, very in-depth, has a hypothesis, talks about all very, very detailed how the study was implemented, how many subjects were there, over what period of time, and really goes into a results and discussion section at the end. That is a primary research article. A secondary article is something that you would just find online. Maybe you have a book on the shelf of your classroom or your office at home that would relate to your topics. So you would want, for the second bullet point under the introduction, a secondary research article. The very last part of the introduction is where you present your research question. This could be something like, how or in what way does X intervention program impact reading at the elementary school level? Or in what ways does technology impact reading success in the middle school or something like that. At any rate, the last sentence of your introduction builds to your research question. Now, your substantiation, do not call it this. This is the part of your research paper that is going to have your subheadings that relate to your topic. So, if you are going the route of talking about a particular reading intervention program, under the substantiation, you're going to have 3 main ideas that relate to your main idea. So you're going to have, if you're talking about a reading intervention program, then you're going to have 3 main ideas underneath your overarching question. And I do have a graphic that lays this out for you that I've already posted, and I'll go ahead and review that shortly, just so you know what I'm talking about. But that graphic directly relates to the substantiation section of this paper. Additionally, there are other resources on our Blackboard site, examples of seminar papers that you can also refer to. So the substantiation has, it's the body of your paper, provides the review of the research, and is readable and structured. The second bullet point says most papers will have some broader grounding of the topic in a very brief synopsis. Tell how this fits into a way of thinking about reading. Define any terms if needed as you write about them. So under this, with this first bullet point, you might talk about your research as a whole. Again, tell how it fits into a way of thinking about reading. If there are any difficult terms, unfamiliar terms, you may want to go ahead at that point and define those for the reader. You never know who's going to be reading this. For now, it's me, but you may want to go ahead and think about any terms that you would need to define. After this, you're going to give a roadmap of what's ahead. It's going to be more or less a synopsis of your substantiation. So here you're going to talk about, kind of lay things out. What are the 3 main ideas? What are we going to see ahead with this roadmap? After that, you're going to, sort of in this section here, it says substantiation, organize the multiple research studies, article information into logical categories and use those as subheadings. The substantiation section attempts to answer the questions. So have everything organized and then go into talking about your research as a whole. It says here, each research article is succinctly summarized. Please don't take that as, please don't take that as I need you to summarize every single article, because I don't. I need you to sort of take your resources as a whole, according to each main idea, and kind of synthesize things together. At the end of each section, provide a summary of the findings across the research studies. At the beginning of each section, give a brief introductory paragraph. So what this means is each of the main ideas, you're going to have a topic sentence. You're going to talk about the research that is pertinent to that main idea. And then at the end, you're going to just kind of give a little summary statement. The body itself, the substantiation, is going to be about 12 to 16 pages. So you figure if you have 3 main ideas, then you're going to have about 5 pages written on each main idea. So each main idea, as it relates to your overarching question, is going to be about 5 pages each, about. Under the conclusion, in the section, restate your research question, and using the summaries that you have made at the end of each subsection of the substantiation, provide answers your investigation has produced. As you are able, include commentary on the amount and quality of the research that you have found and on the kind of research you believe still needs to be done. Many, if not most, questions bring more questions than certain answers, so be sure to be a critical reviewer in terms of limitations of the research done thus far. What further research is needed to more fully answer your question? The conclusion to the paper should be 2 pages. So here you're going to kind of summarize what you have found. Did you like what you found? Some people say that the body of research should be needs to really be extended, that you found a lot, but you feel like there could be more. And again, please remember, for each of these sections, the introduction, substantiation, and the conclusion, you are going to have examples, or you have examples already on Blackboard as to how this wording gets pulled together. It's because I know that this is a kind of a quick summary of what the paper is going to look like, but I feel like if you can hear me explaining it, it might make things easier since this is a fully online course. Okay, so part 4 is your abstract. Once your paper is complete, create an abstract summarizing it in 100 to 150 words. Add any keywords at the bottom as noted in the APA manual. So any keywords that you find, add them at the end of your abstract. There are definitely going to be keywords related to your topic that you are going to want to put at the bottom of this abstract. And so again, the completed paper should be about 20 pages, not including references, the cover page and the abstract. APA format, again, the Purdue OWL is fantastic in terms of APA format, but I've also provided for you a PowerPoint given to us by one of our amazing TU librarians that talks about the APA format strictly in regards to our seminar paper. So that is also listed on our Blackboard site. I think that that's about it about the seminar paper. Here's the scoring guide, how everything is divided up for the points of the paper. It's 50 points total. So that is how I'm going to be looking at your seminar paper once I grade it. I will be grading your seminar paper in pieces. Introduction first, substantiation, conclusion, and then finally the abstract and the references. I will be building, or I think I already have built in your Blackboard site, the different places where you are to submit this paper. Let me real quick go into the Blackboard site now. This is a 729 Blackboard site for section 020, but both Blackboard sites essentially look the same. So let me try to find that graphic. Here it is. Okay, this is the substantiation section. This is how I visualize you dividing up your resources so that you know what to shoot for. Again, that is on Blackboard. It just helps people kind of get an idea of, gee, well, for main idea number 1, how many primary resources do I need? How many secondary sources, etc. So this helps kind of guide you in that direction. Again, this is suggested, and in no way, shape, or form is what you should try to get exactly. Again, I put 2 to 3 because we can be flexible with, what this looks like for each person. Again, looking here, I've already posted an introductory PowerPoint, our APA, the APA resource PowerPoint, the overview of the seminar paper. I don't see that I have not put any examples up as yet, but I certainly will be doing that. I think it's important that you right now just focus on your getting your question together that you're going to begin to work on. So that is the seminar paper. Coming up next in a separate video will be an explanation of the portfolio reflective essay. So stay tuned for that. Again, and if you have any questions as you get into the meat of this paper, please do not hesitate to say, hey, I really need a phone conference with you. I am happy to, set up a time and we can talk about this if you feel like that's what you need. Or send me an email if you have any questions, whatever you prefer to do. But again, this is, for the seminar paper, and any questions that you have, please be sure to let me know. Okay, I'm going to begin to record the separate video on the portfolio reflective essay.